I'm Jonas Vingegaard, and welcome to the Cycling Dane.
The Tour de France, the biggest bike race in the world, and this year it happened to start in Denmark. So I thought I would try and do the first stage around Copenhagen, but with a bit of a twist. Sparked by the doubt of my friend Sam, I would be using not a time trial bike like the winner Yves Lampard and the fellow competitors did, but the dreaded mini bike, and see if I could navigate the 13.8 kilometer course around Copenhagen. I made my way to the start of the stage the day after the first stage of the Tour de France, and the stage would in fact, or this challenge would conclude at the same place where Jonas Vingegaard was congratulated by the Danish public as being the Tour de France champion on Rådhuspladsen.
3, 2, 1, go!
Starting the stage, I could feel the struggle already. However, the struggle was masked a bit by the very humorous horn. Despite a sense of speed on the mini bike, it wasn't long before I was humbled with the speed of a normal cyclist.
Sam doesn't believe me that I can do this, so this is to prove Sam wrong.
So I was coming close to the first turn of the route, and this would also take me onto the first bridge of the stage as well. It wasn't long before the challenge drew a bit of attention from a friendly passerby.
The Cycling Dane! Har du træt?
Nej, det lader jeg mig ikke gøre.
Så prøver du og ham.
Despite Copenhagen being the capital of cycling, it was still an unusual sight for many of the locals. My suffering and pain was captured by plenty of passers-by here in Copenhagen. Not long after, it was then time to embark on the most busy bridge in Copenhagen in terms of cyclists. With my optimistic estimate of an hour, I made my way onto the bridge. So as I managed to get over the bridge, there was a short right-hand turn, and then we would make our way on towards another right-hand turn before we got to the second bridge of the stage, close to Rigshospitalet, the hospital in Copenhagen. As we were in Copenhagen, I had to make sure to follow the rules and race through the traffic light the fastest I went that day, and there was definitely still signs of the Tour de France after it only being a day since it came, and there was a beautiful homage to the late Chris Anker Sørensen.
Nej, min ben skal lige have en pause. I'm glad I wasn't doing it yesterday because the weather's stunning, but I can feel it in my legs. But it's too funny to not continue.
I managed to make the junction where we would turn off into the second bridge of the day, and the legs was starting to feel it a bit, but I got going and yes, continued on. When crossing the bridge, I admired the beautiful sight, the beautiful day for a moment, and enjoyed a brief downhill and a bit of a respite for the legs as well. The next part was a long straight, and I suddenly discovered that there was closed roads, so I managed to get onto them with a bit of a mishap for a moment and lost control a bit of the bike.
Til Rådhuspladsen. Right, how am I feeling? We're going around the triangle, and I say we as my poor mum is the camera woman. But yeah, how am I feeling? Ankles hurt, knees hurt, arms hurt. Almost like these bikes weren't designed to do 13 kilometers. But yeah, there you can see it. Yeah, so I want to see the Little Mermaid. I'm on my way, very slowly, but I'm gonna get there eventually. Jeg troede ikke Danmark havde bakker.
I was making my way towards the Little Mermaid, the final straight before you turned up to Kastellet, which is a beautiful part of Copenhagen. As I made my way up into Kastellet towards the Little Mermaid, there was a bit of an incline, a hill, but it seemed like a mountain on the mini bike. Plenty of enthusiasm from people around the Little Mermaid, and even the odd photo. It was a brilliant atmosphere. And then finally, the moment we'd all been waiting for, the Little Mermaid and the Cycling Dane in the same frame, and for a few seconds I stole a bit of her attention, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind too much. I made my way through all the people. There were plenty of funny looks and a great atmosphere, to say the least.
Ses, lille havfru.
But after having said my goodbyes to the Little Mermaid, it was time to venture towards another side of Denmark, of Copenhagen, Amalienborg, where the Queen, Margrethe, resides. The cobblestones of Amalienborg didn't actually seem as much of a challenge as I thought beforehand, but it wasn't on the wet conditions that they had yesterday. So with another Copenhagen landmark passed by, it was time for another photo, and towards Nyhavn, which is another postcard location, and for a moment Nyhavn was just in the frame, and not long after it was time to get past it.
Just past Kongens Nytorv and getting ever closer to the finish. But yeah, quite a lot still to go. Well, not really. We're in the final few lengths, so yeah.
The legs were tiring. I could definitely feel the pain in the ankles, in the legs. Everywhere was hurting at this point, but I was determined not to give up, determined not to let Sam be right at this point. But the pain was really setting in.
Oh, I can feel it.
Then on the final straight towards Rådhuspladsen, it was now or never. With my flag in the helmet, it was time to make my way down, see if I could make it conclude this torture, this pain of the mini bike. And just in the final few straights, it was this point where everything, my legs were tired, my ankles were broken, everything was at the limit, and then the GoPro and cameras went as well. But I managed to get a photo at the end, and it was the same place where later Jonas Vingegaard, 3 weeks later, would be celebrated as the Tour de France champion. And yeah, what did I learn from this? Cycling on a mini bike more than 1 kilometer is probably not a good idea, but it was all worth it to prove Sam wrong and prove to myself that I could do it. So that's basically it for this video. Make sure to check out our first mini bike race that we had on the channel as well, where Sam was incidentally part of it. And of course, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you around, and have a nice day.
Wow.
Du kom igennem, Scott!
Sådan.